We're standing here on Veterans Drive in Eldorado in front of the VFW Hall, and we've just unveiled a new historical marker, Eric, and from what I understand, your parents were even here. So tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, they were here the night George Harrison played with the 4 Vests. Really cool. I mean, I grew up as a kid hearing about that, and now to see that recognized by that beautiful marker here in Eldorado is truly amazing.
For those of you that don't know, this is the place that the British invasion began. And George Harrison, a member of the Beatles, for the first time in public, played right here on this stage on the exact same carpet that's on the stage in the VFW Hall in Eldorado.
Down here, it was the 4 Vests. Kenny Welch was one awesome guitar player. And George and I both milked his brain for all his knowledge. You know, the night that he played here, I followed Gabe and George down here, and we came up here, and Gabe talked Kenny into letting him play guitar, which was an achievement because a lot of the musicians were really picky about their guitars and stuff, but George had his own with him. And they finally let him sing a few songs, and he sang like an American. And that's what blew their minds, because they couldn't understand a word he was saying. Stand on the stage, and all of a sudden the crowd's going, whoa, he can sing.
I think George Harrison's appearance on the stage here in Eldorado and in the United States, and specifically here in Illinois, is one of the seminal events in rock and roll history, American history anyway. The fact that he was here 4 or 5 months before he was in New York for the Ed Sullivan Show and played music here on the stage in Eldorado, got to visit with his sister. It's really an important touchstone for us who care about rock and roll history in America.
When the British invasion hit, the jukeboxes changed from a lot of the country into more of the rock and roll, Beatlesque, Rolling Stones, Dave Clark 5. Teen towns were changed. It began here. I was in the middle of it and didn't know it.
I think it's important for us to remember music history in Illinois. The Beatles story is important to people all around the world. The fact that he was here and he sort of graced this land, and we can remember that and think about it and see how, it's interesting to me to think how this culture, this environment influenced his music. I would think that would be something that he would take back to Liverpool or London about the Garden of the Gods in Southern Illinois.
It was here. It happened here. The dream happened. It can be their dream. Some child sitting at a piano going da 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 and hating every minute of it could wind up one of the greatest pianists in the world. It can happen simply because if a person has a dream and they drive for that dream, it can become real. It's up to the adults, it's up to history to prove it. If you look at the historical markers here in Benton, there's absolute proof that dreams do come true.
About 8 years ago, we did another marker in Benton, Illinois, which is where George came to visit his sister in the summer and late summer, early fall of 1963. And he came over here on, I believe, September 28th and played a concert here in 1963. And so we're going to put up a historical marker to that event.
We have here the members of VFW, and then Mark Watson, who is the president of the Saline County Tourism. And we're now going to present to the town here this historic marker. So if you guys want to, a couple of you come over here and we'll pull this off. All right, yeah, let's just come on over. And there we have it.
It's easy to think of George the musician. He played here in September of 1963, but he was also George the sightseer, George the camper, George the tourist. And if you want to retrace his steps, we have many places where he went in southeastern Illinois. Garden of the Gods, Old Stone Face, Pounds Hollow, and I guess Lake Glendale are some of the places that he went and visited and did a lot of camping. That opportunity is still open to anybody who wants to enjoy southeastern Illinois, where we have a lot, in addition to history, to offer. And so I hope people will come and try to trace George's steps there, and maybe as you're looking out over the old stone face, you think of George Harrison doing the same thing.
Well, whenever you're in El Dorado checking out the George Harrison marker, be sure to come on in here to the VFW and have the best hamburger anyone could ever make right here in good old El Dorado, Illinois.
And I guess we're going to find out right now.
We're going to give it a
exactly
shot.
how good it is.
It just looks delicious.
Yeah, they don't make them like that in most places.
Delicious. Perfect.